time. So you get that one contract, you may have 40 or 50 speaking engagements in 1 year. Because you only have, you really only send it for review if you're not confident or if there's a question. What I do with the people, again, you have to be a client. Like, this is not just open for everybody. But what I do is when you send it back to me, I may only charge you $200, between $200 and $350 for review. And again, that depends on how extensive that contract is. So you're really talking about, most attorneys are going to charge you $2,000 to $3,000 per contract. Most attorneys, they're not going to give you anything that you can standardize because they want you to keep coming back and coming back and coming back. But I know, because again, I'm one of Saafir's clients, he gives out checklists for the people that are his clients to let you know the types of things that you need to keep track of and all of that. And so, Saafir, since I mentioned you, I'll let you go ahead and talk about your checklist and the things that you do and just some general cost ranges.
Yeah, and like you said, a lot of it just really depends upon your situation. I'm the kind of person, if you come to me, because I have worked with people that basically, Saafir, I just can't afford to pay you right now. And I appreciate that. Give me the option of whether or not I choose to help you on that level. Mm-hmm. But don't just come in expecting, because we the same skin shade, that I'm going to give you the hookup.
Oh, right.
So, but it just depends on the nature of the service. If it's something to where I do a lot of loan packaging for people, for a lot of people, where the bank may ask you for certain documents, financial statements, things like that, personal balance sheet or whatever. And sometimes that service can range depending upon the nature of the business, how detailed I have to be. It may be $500, it may be all the way up to $2,500. It just depends. But give me the option to say, this is something that I would do pro bono, or I'm feeling good, I believe in you, so I'm going to do that for you. Give me that option, though. Most of with a lot of the tax cases and everything, if someone comes to me and they owe $3,000 or whatever, man, just pay the folks. To me, that's not really worth my time, just to be honest. Versus someone come in that say, I may owe $100,000. Well, yeah, you're gonna probably pay me about $7,000 to $10,000 up front retainer. It is what it is. So it just depends on the spectrum of services. The biggest thing, and touching back with Laurie, with the credit situations, a lot of people, and it just being honest, we really devalue the importance of having our things in order. I tell a lot of clients, and if they don't get anything besides the EIN number, if you are running a business, have financial statements. That's the first thing the bank is going to want to see when you come in applying for a loan. They're going to want to see your financials. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that service is just, like I said, it just depends.
Absolutely. And I have situations like, there are certain clients that, they may call me and I just might hook them up. Like you were saying, do a couple things. They don't necessarily expect it. Well, actually, they don't. They don't expect it any type of gratuitously or anything like that. But sometimes it's something that is so pressing that I need to go ahead and jump on it. And if this is a client that I have a relationship with and I know that they're going to pay me, to speak to something that Saafir said, anytime that you are in a transaction where you are going to get monies, so loans, investments, things of that nature, and you don't have the money up front to pay, one thing that you can do is you can have a contract with those of us that would be involved in something like that, where we will be paid out of those proceeds. So there are no upfront monies or anything like that. It's just like when you buy a house. Your realtor does all this work up front, but they get their 6% or whatever it is, 3% on the back end. You can put anybody in there you want to put in that's getting paid off of it. People that are getting referral fees, all of that. Everybody that's been involved in that transaction. So I think that it's really important for you guys to understand that. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm trying to type this, but it's really important for you guys to understand that most of us work with people. Most of us work with people that are already our clients. So the biggest thing that you can do to put yourself in a great position is to establish that relationship. What do you guys think? Laurie?
I mean, what you're saying is one thing that took me a lot of years to realize, that your services, your business, it is your business. And I think that a lot of times people fail to realize is, if you're coming to someone for a service, you have to understand that there are going to be some fees involved, whether they are upfront or on the back end. And if somebody wants to do something for you because, like Saafir said, they believe in what you're doing, it's a different story. Because, there's bartering. Some people still barter. My thing is, with just listening to the three of you today, I'm in need of services. Because you can't be afraid to talk to somebody and find out what it is that they do, so they can help you with your needs so that your business will be successful. The reason that people fail in business is, as we know, the lack of knowledge and just not really understanding what it takes to have a successful business, but not asking professionals like you guys on what they need to help them be successful. We don't want you to fail. This is why we're having this forum. And I'm really, truly enjoying it, because every time I'm with a good group, or this is a great group, I learn, and that's who I am. I think that it's important to always grow in business and in your personal life. You got to grow.
And you have to invest in yourself. And again,
always.
Like Laurie said, it's not always money. It can be, buying a book. It can be all of those things. As a matter of fact, I had someone contact me today that said they needed a certain legal service, and they told me how they had contacted all of these attorneys and how all of these attorneys were charging pretty much around what is the going rate, and they didn't want to pay that. Now they said that to me, and I'm like, wow. And so that means what? You know what I'm saying? And so what I'm saying is, be careful how you approach anybody that's a professional. Be careful what you say, because the sad part is, had this person come to me, even though they haven't been a client before, had this person come to me and said, this is my situation. I mean, and they are in a dire situation, like they're avoiding being served. Like, this isn't I think I might be sued. This is somebody has filed a lawsuit, and I'm making sure they don't get me because I don't have the money. But when you tell me that you've been to all these other people and all you got is X number of dollars, one thing that you will not do is set my fee. That's what you won't do. And now that I know that you're dodging service, now you're going to be a problem for me anyway. So that's the issue. That's why people are charging you to go and rate, because now you have let them know that you are being shysty, and you can't do that. So one thing that I will say is that be careful how you approach. So this is a comment from the chat. The comment says, you are all representing. If you were not, I would have been in bed by now. So this person wants to thank us all, but they have asked that we speak to the stigma, fear, etc., that some have with allowing others to see how jacked up their financial situation is as it relates to their business. For example, they did not grow up with parents that could teach them about business, And so their success has kind of been due to turning it over to God. So they have found their spiritual connection and have been successful through divine connections. So Saafir, Laurie, either one of you talk about that, about the fear.
Well, I would like to really touch on that, because one thing about me that I tell people all the time is that I'm very transparent. I was never taught about credit and finance, learned the hard way numerous times. Never filed bankruptcy or anything like that, but have been, in the 500 range of credit scoring for a long time. I think that what happens is you have to understand and you have to believe that you're not the only person in these situations. I'm an example of believing in myself, asking for help, and knowing that I've been there before and it's not comfortable and that's not where I want to stay. Have I been there before more than once? Absolutely. Have been a widow, have been divorced, have had a business ventures, was in a bad accident, lost everything. I mean, you have to know that if you have the knowledge and the faith, because you have to remember that a lot of where I come from, and I'm sure the whole panel, is faith. You have to believe in yourself to the point of no destruction. You have to understand that you are just like anybody else. You start from a particular point, you figure out where you want to go, you put the people in your circle, get rid of the negative naysayers because they're always around. Remember who they were, so when you have your come up, you know that they weren't good for you and they meant you no good. Continue to pray for them, but understand that you're looking for prosperity. You're looking for financial security. You're looking for believing in whatever it is that you're structuring and understanding the product that you're selling so that you know that you can make some money with it. Nobody's in business not to make money. Understand that even though you're at the beginning stages, believe in yourself to know that you're going to take the proper channels to have a successful business. You're going to get some consultation. You're going to call Tanya and ask her advice. You're going to get her to do your business contracts. You're going to call Saafir to do your taxes and to help you with structuring parts of your your business financial structure so that you can move to higher heights when it comes to credit, business credit. You're going to go to Audrey, who's phenomenal, who can take you from point A to point B when it comes to marketing. You have to understand that the one thing that you have to do, if nothing else, is believe in yourself and understand that you're not where you are alone.
Saafir?
Keep your eye on the prize.
I mean, a lot of it, basically, I mean, we have that fear, and depending upon the situation, because I think sometimes when people may come and may see a person, like us or in our position, sometimes it's that stigma that, we popped out of the womb and bam, here it goes, and they don't see the struggle, they don't see the fear, they don't see all of the mistakes that were made. And so sometimes I may tend to get a little personal with a client just so they'll know, hey, I'm not judging you. I was in the same boat. This is how I learned, and this is why I do what I do. And I think once you do that, then people tend to kind of be a little bit more relaxed with you. And you have to create what I call just a non-judgmental environment for them. And, I've heard some crazy things, and, sometimes you just kind of have to, like, okay, but, when people are being vulnerable to you, what we do or what we say when they're being vulnerable dictates the entire course of the relationship. And so I try to ease that fear. And, you know, hey, this is what I can do. This is what I went through.